This is a practice worksheet which is made on the format on which you get your worksheets for CBE. And like you know, it has an extract, an unseen passage, and on the basis of that, you have to answer 3 to 5 questions. All right, let us begin. Let us remember whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Remember, we who take arms against each other. Okay? The first thing I want you to do is, as always, spend some time with this passage. Okay? Think about the words. Notice the words, let us remember. Let us remember and remember. These words are repeated, right? We are told to hate our brothers. It is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Think about what these words mean. Are they positive words or are they negative words? What is the tone of this passage? And what does the poet want to tell us? Okay, give yourself a minute, think about this, and then carefully read the questions. Question 1. When the speaker says, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn, his tone is which one of the following? Is he joyous? What is joyous? Joyous is happy, right? Is the poet happy? Does he sound happy? No, right? He's not talking about a positive thing. Is he ironic? What is ironic? First is not the correct option, right? Is he ironic? What is irony? Irony is when you say something but you mean something else. For example, when you forget your books at home and you come to me and say, Ma'am, I forgot my notebook at home, I don't have it today. And I say, wonderful, perfect, shabash. I am being ironic because, of course, I'm not appreciating your forgetfulness. I am being ironic. I actually mean the opposite. I want to say, how silly of you. How could you? Why did you? Right? So, irony is saying something but meaning something else. But here, the poet actually means what he says, right? He's not being ironic. Right? So, this is not the right option. Option number D, adventurous. What is adventure? Adventure is when you do something which is fascinating, which is exciting, and it evokes in you a sense of fulfillment and a sense of discovery and of finding out something new, right? Here, do you feel that the poet has come upon a new discovery, that he's just figuring out a new truth of life? कि अभी अभी उनको कुछ नया नई कोई ऐसी चीज़ पता चली है जिससे वो बिल्कुल ही सरप्राइज्ड हैं, अस्टॉनिश्ड हैं? No, right? The tone is not adventurous. So the answer has to be option number C, cautious. The poet is cautioning us, he is warning us. Why? That if you hate other people, if you hate your brothers, then you shall destroy yourself, you shall hurt yourself. Dispossess, betray, condemn. This is what will happen to you, right? So this is a warning. So the correct option is C, cautious. Question number 2. Why does the poet want us to remember? Whenever we are told to hate our brothers, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Let us read the options. Because it is good to hate. Is it good to hate? The poet is actually warning us to not hate. Remember, whenever we are told to hate, it is ourselves that we shall dispossess. So it is a warning to not hate. Right? So it is bad to hate according to the passage. So this is not the right option. Option B, because we would lose our property. Does he talk about property here? See, look at this line, that we shall dispossess, betray, condemn. Dispossess. What is possess? What does possess mean? Possess means to own something. है ना? And dispossess means to lose something. Possess is to own something, dispossess is to lose something or disinherit something. Okay? Betray means dhokha dena, you know this very well, and condemn means to insult someone, to say bad things about someone. So, the poet is saying that if we hate our brothers, if we hate fellow humans, then it is ourselves, it is our own selves which we betray, which we insult, which we say bad things about, which we lose, that we get distant from. Right? So the poet is saying the things that we do to other people are the things that happen to us, right? So if you hate other people, you will also learn to hate yourself, right? So he's not talking about property here. So B is not the right option. Let us look at option C. Because we also suffer when we betray others. Yes, this is the right option, right? I just explained it to you. What the poet is trying to say, that if we hate our brothers, that it shall affect us negatively. That we are betraying ourselves. हम खुद को धोखा दे रहे हैं अगर हम बाकी लोगों से प्यार से बात नहीं कर सकते, प्यार से रह नहीं सकते. So this is what the poet is trying to say, that we also suffer if we make other people suffer. Option number D, because the poet is a suspicious person. Is that true? Does the poet seem like a suspicious person to you? No, the poet seems to be a person who is very enlightened. He seems to be a very intelligent person, not suspicious. Intelligent, why? Because he is cautioning us. वो हमें चेतावनी दे रहे हैं, वो हमें वार्निंग दे रहे हैं कि हमें ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. Right? He is not suspicious. He is telling us some truths. Right? So this also cannot be the right option according to the extract that has been given to you. Question 3. Which of the following words can replace the word dispossess? Dispossess, I've already discussed this, right? We just discussed it. Replace. Replace the word means, which is a synonym, which means the same as dispossess. So tell me. Let us start from option B. Disgrace. Disgrace is to ruin something, right? To do wrong to something, to make something bad. Disgrace is not the meaning. Impound is not the meaning, right? No. Let us look at option number A first. Seize. What is seize? Quickly, class, we've discussed this word before. What is seized? Seize is to hold something, right? Possess could be a sort of a synonym for it, but dispossess does not mean seize. So the option has to be disinherit, to lose something. Inherit is to gain something, to receive something. Let me write this down. Inherit is to gain something from your ancestors, right? We studied these words in the Abdul Kalam chapter, if you remember. And disinherit is to lose something. Lose something or lose possession of something. So the correct option would be B, disinherit. Okay, question 4. Which of the following best describes the speaker's attitude towards negative forces who want to profit by spreading difference and hatred? जो स्पीकर हैं, जो पोएट है, उनका क्या एटीट्यूड है टुवर्ड्स द फोर्सेस, टुवर्ड्स द पीपल जो कि कुछ पॉजिटिव अपने लिए कमाई करना चाहते हैं, बाकी लोगों को भड़काकर, नेगेटिविटी फैलाकर, हेट रेट फैलाकर. तो उनका क्या एटीट्यूड है, पोएट का क्या एटीट्यूड है? इज द पोएट इनडिफरेंट? व्हाट डज इनडिफरेंट मीन? Indifference means to not care about something, to be oblivious of something. किसी चीज को वैल्यू नहीं करना. That is indifferent. But is the speaker indifferent towards negative forces? See, the poet is telling us, let us remember. Remember, he's saying it again and again. कि अगर हमें कोई बोलता है that we should hate each other, that we should not love each other, then we are torturing ourselves. We are making ourselves suffer. We are doing wrong by ourselves, not just other people. So the poet is actually very concerned about the kind of hatred that you see in the world. He's not indifferent. He's very, very aware of it and he wants a solution to it. He wants to alert people to it. Okay, so indifferent is not the option. Is he dejected? What does dejected mean? Dejection means to lose hope. Dejection means to lose hope. But is the poet not hopeful? He is, right? He is telling us things. He wants us to do something. He wants a solution. He has actually come up with a solution and he wants to teach this to other people. So he is actually very hopeful. He thinks that we can change the world. He thinks कि बदलाव कर सकते हैं हम अगर हम खुद को बदल सकें. So he is actually not dejected. He is hopeful. Is he dismissive? Yes, he is dismissive. Why? Because he wants the world to be free of these negative forces, these negative people, negative forces who spread hatred, who spread difference. He wants them to go away. He wants to end these things. So he wants to dismiss them. He wants these things to go. So the option C is the right answer. Let us also look at option D. Respectful. Is the poet behaving respectfully towards these forces? No, of course not, because he wants them to go away. He does not want people to give them weight. He wants people to ignore the voices that say that we should hate each other. So, option D will also be incorrect. Last question. Which is the poetic device used in let us remember dot dot dot, remember we who take arms dot dot dot. So these dots are ellipses. What do ellipses stand for? Ellipses stand for the parts which have not been quoted, right? This part has not been quoted. So instead of writing all of this, I will just write dot dot dot. So the question tells you the poetic device which has been used here is let us remember dot dot dot, remember dot dot dot, right? Which means there are some words here but they have not been mentioned. So tell me, which is the poetic device used? Let us remember, remember we who take arms. It's a very easy question. Let's see the first option. Personification. What is personification? Personification is to give voice to inanimate objects. है ना? So for example, if something like the rain is given a voice, if you hear rain speaking in a poem, that would be personification, because rain is something which does not have a voice. But if you see rain talking in a poem, that means the rain has been personified. Okay, do you see personification here? No, right? It is the poet himself who's speaking. So personification is not the right option. Simile. What is a simile? Simile is a way of comparison, right? Simile and metaphor, both of them are ways of comparison. But do you see comparison happening here? Let us remember. Remember we who take arms. No, right? There's no comparison being drawn, whether as simile or as metaphor. So B and D are not the correct options, right? So by elimination itself, you can come to the right answer, which is C, repetition. What is repetition? So easy. When you see words or phrases being repeated, that is repetition. Remember, remember. Do you see this? Let us remember, remember. Remember has been repeated. So the figure of speech or the poetic device used here is repetition. Okay. I hope you got most of these answers right. If not, I hope you've made your corrections now. Right? Okay. So this is where we'll stop. If you have any doubts, you can always ask me. Thank you, class.